more involved, and I learned about the Hispanic Leadership Council. How many of you were part of the Hispanic Youth Leadership Council? I have quite a bit of people here that are familiar with that. So the Hispanic Youth Leadership Council, what it is basically there's 28 high schools now that have a Hispanic Youth Leadership Council. What the Hispanic Leadership Council did, which was the club that I'm still a part of, and Brian sits with me in the board, as well as Dina, who's here. What we did is we support the leadership. We support the leadership, and we provide funding for students so they can get exposed to community engagement, community work, and scholarships. And so I started getting more involved. So I got recruited from El Concilio. I get a phone call out randomly. I was still in banking. And I get a phone call randomly from the HR director at El Concilio, which is a social services agency that focuses on helping underserved communities in the areas of health and education and immigration. And they said, we've heard about you. We've heard about the work that you're doing in the community, and we want to talk to you. We want to talk to you about coming out and working for us. I'm like, who the heck are these people? And why do they want me? And it's amazing how other people believe more in you than yourself sometimes. And then I thought, are they for real? So then I happened to have a day off. And I said, I'm going to go and check them out. So I had a talk with the CEO, and I said, look, I am a banker. I have no knowledge about social work. And what would this job entail? And so he told me, look, I need someone that can run the Concilio office in Stanislaus County. I need someone that has the business background that you do, the financial literacy background that you do, and the passion for the community. And I've heard about you from 3 people, and I really want you to work for us. I didn't really think twice about it when I did a little bit of research, of course. I didn't just say, okay. I did a little bit of research, and I said, where do I sign? So I did. So then my journey ventured into full-time community work. I could not believe that I was getting paid to do something that I was doing as a volunteer. I could not believe the amount of people out there that are doing selfless work, creating change, building coalitions to help the community. Through that, I was able to learn so much about various different communities, from faith to education to business to youth. And I was able to be very involved and be able to choose with my heart. Instead of like, this is what you need to be involved with this. I was able to choose with my heart what I was going to get involved with. At that same time, after I was there for about 6 years is when I started my master's in public health, because I saw the health disparities that a lot of people were facing, specifically with Covered California, access to health. And I thought, what, I think that's going to be a really good career to get into. That way I can focus on one thing. So what I did is I started my work as far as being able to get my master's in public health. That, once I finished, there's an opportunity that opened up in the healthcare industry. So at this moment, I manage a community health clinic in the west part of the county in Patterson. I don't feel that I'm doing what I want to do with my heart. I'm really honest, and I don't know, I might have people that work there here. I feel that the work that I need to do is be more involved with my community and really focus on the health disparities that the community is facing. There's so much lack of education. There is so much lack of access. And even though we are providing the service, I feel that I really need to dive in more in the outreach, in the engagement, in the education portion. So I still haven't found my way. I'm still going through that journey. And but it has been a wonderful learning experience. With that, one of the things, I have some takeaways that I want to share with you based on my experiences, and I hope that I can plant a seed today, and that the seed that I plant with you is something that you can use and really inspire you to, if it's something that you want to do as far as investing back in your community, that you can find that community, whether it's a neighborhood, whether it's a community of faith, whether it's your family, whether it's the community in general, the city of Modesto, city of Patterson, whatever it is. But I hope that by doing what you love, you inspire and awaken the hearts of others. Because when we do what we love, we bring, people want to join you. People want to be with you. It's amazing how some people say, you know, I'm intimidated by smart people. I'm intimidated by people who are so open. But I'm not. I want to be with them. I want them around me, because guess what? You learn so much from those people, and they learn from you at the same time. And that's why it's so important to ensure you never know which hearts you're going to awaken in your journey. So, if this can move. This, I just want to show, this was the very first board that I joined, which is the LVA Foundation. And I put that website on there because we have scholarships. We have lots of money to give out. So for the students, I really want you to take a picture of that, of that link, because I want you to apply for scholarships. And the scholarships, the criteria is either you have to be involved in community, you're doing well academically, you don't have to be just a high school student, you can also be attending college, or there's a special need. And when I say special need, there's a special financial need, or you're a dreamer. And so it has been an absolute pleasure to be a part of this. And so I want to be able to share that with you so that you can apply, and we have lots and lots of scholarships to give out next time that we meet in June. These are different organizations that I'm a part of, and like I mentioned, the Hispanic Leadership Council is one of them. City Ministry Network, I see my friend Sergio out here, I see my friend Jorge here, and just doing some great work in the area of faith. There's the Women Education Leadership League, the Hispanic Leadership Council again, the City Ministry Network. This is when we took Roosevelt Junior High, the Language Institute, we took them to the Capitol. And this is something that the kids were so excited. They had never taken any, they had never gone to the state capitol. And I was able to reach out to one of my really good friends that works there. And I said, you know, there's this school that I got Univision to pay for the bus, but I would love for them to visit the Capitol. Can you do something about that? Can you work something else? So they did, and these kids that go to the Language Institute, they have been here for less than 2 years in this country, and they were exposed to something so wonderful. They were able to go to Univision Studios, and they were treated a VIP treatment, and at the Capitol as well. So that was really a lot of fun. The LVA Foundation, the golf tournament, that's our fundraiser that we use to be able to accumulate the funding so that we can provide scholarships to students, and that's coming up in June. So if you golf, make sure you check that out as well. And of course, I would be amiss if I don't talk about El Concilio and the wonderful work that they do as far as investing back in the community. Monica's here, she worked with me, as well as Adilene, and we can definitely say that it was a wonderful experience to be able to provide and give back to the community. This is part of the Dreamer Network. One of the things that we did, as a lot of people here were involved in, was being able to provide assistance to Dreamers and DACA. It would be DACA recipients. In 2012, what we did is we were able to get together lots and lots of wonderful, passionate people ranging from educators to teachers to neighborhoods, college. A lot of people, I reached out to several people and everybody was like, yes, I'm going to do it. That's how I met Elena. And we were able to help close to 800 people, 800 DACA recipients fill out their DACA application. So if you really think about it and you calculate that, we were able to help them apply for their work permit. And if we wouldn't have gotten all these passionate people together, Omero was one of the very first ones too, when we started doing this project, and Jorge, if we wouldn't have been able to get together and do this, these 800 kids would have had to pay about $1,000 for each application. So that's almost $1 million that we were able to help kids save. And when I say we, I'm talking about 100 people. There was at least 100 people involved that were there, and Maria was one of the attorneys that was there and helping with those applications and helping these students and inspiring. It really doesn't matter how little or how much you can give, but if it's in your heart to give, feel free to reach out to any of these organizations, and trust me, they will want you to come out and help them and support them in any way that you would like. Another thing that I want for you to have as a takeaway is to spend time with those that you love. Because one of these days you will either say, I wish I had, or you will say, I am glad I did. And I don't know what you're saying today. Think about that. What can you say today? So this is my family. That picture, I had to put that picture on there because that totally captures their personality. I have 3 nieces and 1 nephew. Wonderful friends and family. Let's see. Women. I think this is one of the pictures that captures the majority of the women that I can say that have lifted me up in many times. And we lift each other up. I think that's one of the things that we do. We have lifted each other up in different situations. So that's why it's so important to be able to spend time with the people that you love. Find people that you can relate to. Because we are the average of the 5 people that we surround ourselves with. 5 people. So the people that you hang out with the majority of the time, you are the average of those 5 people. Find your people. Find the people that you can learn from and that they can learn from you. Spend time with those that you love. You can never forget your little furry friends. That's Chuyito, and he's a celebrity because he was in a magazine. I just saw him today. He's a little celebrity. He's on the Contentment magazine. And that's Rocco and that's Zoe. And they're crazy, but they're mine, right? Do not lose sight of your goals. Always remember your focus determines your reality. Remember when I told you that I wanted to get that master's? Back then, when I said I'm going to go for my master's degree. My then husband, I told him, we need to talk about something. I want to get my master's degree, and I need your support. I need you to help me. Why are you going to get your master's degree? You're already smart. Why do you need that? Because it's a goal that I have set for myself. I don't know. You just don't want to cook. That's what it is. And I thought, wow. Do not lose sight of your goals. Don't let anybody ever crash your dreams and your goals. Do the things that you love. I know some may seem crazy. And the motorcycle was a 5-year fad, but I loved it. So I had to share it. But do the things that you love, whether it's spending time with yourself, whether it's de-stressing, whether it's going and having a cup of coffee, whether it's going and volunteering or river rafting, because that's so much fun, you guys. If you guys haven't done it, we have beautiful river right in our backyard. Let's do that. So, and one of the things that I love is I love to travel. I love to go to Mexico once a year. I love to get in touch with my heritage, learn more about where I come from. So I always try to go to a different town that I have never been. And I have my mom's side of the family, the majority of my mom's side of the family is still there. So they're just amazing hosts to me, and they're always doing the best that they can to ensure that I'm happy. And my dad's side of the family is always the one that's more the partier, and let's go here, let's go there, let's go there. And I'm like, okay, let's do this. So travel, do the things that you love. Whatever it is, do it. Because there's this someday thing, that's an aura. Someday I want to do this. Someday I want to do that. And sometimes that someday never comes. Do it when you really, truly want to. Don't wait till that someday, because we don't know if we're going to have that someday. Get a mentor and be a mentor. The greatest good you can do for another is not just to share your riches, but to reveal him his own. That's what mentoring is about. Being able to ensure that people are aware how much they're worth. By you being able to provide that richness, that's when you truly are rich. You sharing that richness of yourself, sharing your time with others. There is nothing more valuable than the time that you can give to others. Nothing but your time. And I'm almost done, but I want to share this. So my mentor, and he's not here today, but my mentor is Mr. Dale Butler. I met him through the Hispanic Leadership Council. He has been one of the wisest. He has got to be one of the wisest people that I know, and has guided me through a wonderful path. And so I will always be grateful to him. And I need to share a couple of mentees, and they're here, so I need to share about them, that I'm very, very proud of. And one of them is Jose Paredes. And he got his bachelor's in business management 2 years ago. He is working as a manager, human resource manager for a really big company, and his future is so bright. He is reinvesting back into the community. He sits in my board through the Hispanic Leadership Council, so I'm super proud of him. So, and I met him when he had just graduated from high school. I have loved to see him grow and become the man that he is. So he's here, and I just wanted to acknowledge him as well. And Griselda, I've known her since she was a child because she's also my cousin, but I also baptized her, and that kind of reveals my age, but I did baptize Griselda. I am so proud of her because she just obtained her master's in counseling with her PPS credential last year. She is the first in her family to graduate with a master's. And I can tell you, her nieces and her nephews, each one of them will also graduate minimal with a master's degree. Why? Because once you break the barrier when it comes to education, once one breaks that barrier, they will all come. And that's why it's so important to be able to mentor the youth, be able to provide them a path. I did not have a mentor growing up when it comes to academics. And I had to really navigate it, and I was just so, I kept constant. But not a lot of people do that. A lot of people drop off. So once you have done it, it's so important and critical to ensure that you can also you made that path. Bring them with you, especially the youth. They're definitely our future. And so these are my two nieces. Jaylene attends Modesto Junior College, and she's a future graphic designer. I'm really proud of her. And I'm sorry I get so emotional when I talk about my family, but I really am proud of them. And Juliana Citrali, she goes to Sonoma State, and she is my future communications and media specialist. And my little sister, who is not with us today, she's in UC San Diego. and she wants to become a doctor. And we miss her terribly. She's our first one that has actually left. But even though we missed her, we keep on encouraging her. When she wanted to come back last semester, we kept on encouraging her to stay, and this is the decision that she took. She could not be at a better college for medical research. So she finally decided, I'm going to stay my 2 years, and then I'll transfer to Davis. So we're really, really proud of her. And with that, never forget where you come from. So sometimes it is impossible to know where you are headed without reflecting on where you came from. Understanding your heritage, your roots, and your ancestry is an important part of carving our future. So never forget where you come from. Always go back, bring people aboard with you, and give back. Give back. Whether it's your time, whether it's your resources. But there's nothing richer, and there's nothing more valuable than your time, especially for youth. So I hope that I planted a seed today. These were the takeaways that I talked about today. And my email address is at the very end. If you need to email me, if you want to be a part of any of these different organizations that I mentioned, I will be more than happy to introduce you. And thank you, Brian, so much. Thank you, Modesto Junior College, for inviting me. And I was really scared of doing this, but it wasn't too bad. So thank you.
Thank you.